Here's a quick look at 4 different types of research trying to cure type 1 diabetes that you might not have heard about yet. And this research comes from all over the world. Let's go all the way over to China at Beijing's Peking University, where they've reversed type 1 diabetes in a 25-year-old woman using fat cells from her own body. Seriously, they took fat cells from this participant, 25-year-old woman who's lived with type 1 diabetes for many years. They extracted those cells and turned them into islet cells. Islet cells produce beta cells. Beta cells secrete insulin. This is the first time ever that research has taken cells from the person with type 1 diabetes to develop insulin-producing cells. This is huge, groundbreaking. All right, so first they tested the cells for safety in mice and primates. The cells passed the safety test. In June of 2023, they re-injected 1.5 million cells back into the patient through her abdomen. 2.5 months later, she is producing enough of her own insulin to stop taking daily insulin injections. It's now been 1 year and she is still insulin independent. Those cells are still working and managing her blood sugar levels. The scientists said that they used chemicals to turn the fat cells that they first took from this patient into what's called pluripotent cells, which means they could do anything with it. The only downside to this research, of course, is that she does need immunosuppression therapy to protect those cells. So this is a huge step forward in curing type 1 diabetes, but it's not just some perfect cure yet that we would all sign up for. For number 2 on this list, we're gonna go all the way over to Abu Dhabi. The Abu Dhabi Stem Cell Center has been developing therapies to treat people who've been newly diagnosed, aiming to protect their natural insulin production before the immune system successfully destroys all of your beta cells. In the OPERA study, they're working to delay or completely stop the earliest years of type 1 diabetes so that you can protect the insulin-producing cells that you still have. The OPERA study is investigating a non-surgical blood filtering process. The procedure involves drawing blood from the patient, filtering that patient's blood so they can separate the white blood cells from the rest of the blood, then combining those white blood cells with a photoactive drug, then taking that new combination and injecting it back into the patient. The OPERA study is looking at a wide range of ways to basically intervene and stop the progression, change the progression of type 1 diabetes. We often think that type 1 just is suddenly like, boom, there, all of a sudden when you have symptoms, but it was actually developing probably for several years prior to when your blood sugar was high enough to result in noticeable symptoms. Stage 1 and stage 2 in type 1 diabetes develop slowly and quietly, and you have no idea until you've reached stage 3. Now you can test for the autoantibodies that are present in stage 1 and stage 2. Look at TrialNet or Nodia to learn more about antibody testing. All right, let's go over to Sweden for number 3 on the list. Clinical trials in Sweden at Uppsala University Hospital are trying to cure type 1 diabetes with cell transplantation and gene editing. They're also working with Sana biotechnology. So they're taking donor cells from human cadavers, then genetically modifying those insulin-producing donor cells to become hypoimmune. Hypoimmune means that your immune system won't see those cells and attack and destroy them. That's hopefully eliminating the need for immunosuppression. Those fancy hypoimmune cells are then transplanted into the participant's muscle tissue on their forearm. Number 4 on the list, we're gonna go over to California. This next clinical trial is at the City of Hope Medical Center in Duarte, California. This clinical trial uses immune system medication and cell regeneration. It's an immunotherapy medication that's trying to teach the immune system to stop attacking and destroying the cells in your pancreas that produce insulin. And they're actually recruiting people right now who've been diagnosed with type 1 diabetes within the last 4 years. I realize immunosuppression therapy never sounds like a great idea, but this is different. They're trying to develop a drug that can specifically reprogram your immune system to stop attacking your pancreas. I know it's frustrating. You want the cure yesterday. I am comforted to know that there is so much incredible progress happening all over the planet. Is it going to come to fruition during my lifetime with type 1? I don't know. I hope so. All we can do is remain hopeful and positive. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching.